Hey guys, so you join me filling up the XC90 for a full tank because I'm actually on my way from here outside of Moss, Norway, about 40 minutes outside of Oslo, on my way to Copenhagen. And one of the downsides of this car is that the fuel tank is only 50 liters, about 13.2 gallons if my conversions are correct, giving this car like a maximum range of 500 to 600 kilometers, 350 miles at most. And well, the trip is about 540 kilometers. So we're gonna see if we actually can make it on a full tank of fuel. So filled up, paid, and try not to destroy or damage the camera. I'm just gonna mount this up here, just gonna move so people are... Suddenly this gas station was super busy. There weren't a lot of people here at all, and then suddenly there is a queue for the fuel pumps. But well, this is a long trip and I want to take off my jacket so I'm comfortable, and I will be making a slight detour because I want to just drive through Gothenburg, because we are passing Gothenburg and we're passing Malmö, so I want to drive through those cities. And well, the GPS says 536 kilometers, and with the detour I'm not quite sure, but well, the trip will be a bit longer, and that is the real challenge here. And I'm just gonna convert that for you guys. 536 kilometers divided by 1.6, 333 miles, 35 miles. Apologies. And what I've done is I've charged the battery, but I want to hold the battery because I have 3/4 of a battery left, giving me 21 kilometers, 13 miles, because I want to hold that and use it either for the last leg of the trip, and I'm gonna just reset the trip computer before I forget that, because I did fail doing that when I did the hypermiling test. So there we go, 0.0. And we'll also be recording the fuel consumption. A lot of you guys have been asking me what the fuel consumption has been, and the fuel consumption has been around 1 or 10 liters per 100 kilometers, 23 miles to the gallon in mixed driving over a period of 1,500 kilometers. That's about 900 miles. And that's not bad for a 2.3 ton SUV with 400 horsepower. And the sun suddenly popped out and it suddenly is warm. So we're gonna turn down the temp and then put on some sunglasses. It was snowing just like half an hour ago, so it will be a long trip, or not that long, because it's gonna be motorway driving all the way, but it's gonna take around, well, the GPS says 5 hours, is that correct? 5 hours to do 536 kilometers. I think it's gonna take a bit longer, especially with our detour through Gothenburg and through Malmö. But a lot of you guys might be also wondering, if I'm going to Gothenburg, why aren't I stopping past Volvo? They are in Trollhättan, right outside of Gothenburg. Well, I tried to arrange something, but the visitor center or the tours are closed today. And I'm going to Copenhagen for a business meeting. Gonna be there for a few days, and well, it just wasn't open. I asked for several days and they said today it would have been open, but it was full or something like that. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the way. I've been talking and babbling too much. Gonna show you guys some of the scenery and give you some updates along the way. So for some reason, guys, we've hit really bad traffic. You see the bridge over there? That is the crossing between Norway and Sweden, and since it's Easter, I think that all this traffic are people going to Sweden because there's a mall about a few miles from here which is very popular, and people can buy, you know, their cheap meats, cheap alcohol, cheap tobacco. That's what Norwegians like to do in the beginning of the Easter holiday, and I guess that's why we've hit this really bad traffic. So I hope we're not too delayed, but this is a real bummer. Little update, guys. So thankfully, or hopefully, it looks like that the traffic isn't because of a lot of traffic to the mall, which is about two miles up ahead, the exit to the mall. It looks like they've closed one of the lanes here due to the customs border here into Sweden, which is a bit strange because I've been to Sweden a lot, especially over here to shop in the weekends, and this has never been closed, this lane. Usually it's closed the other way to Norway because well, a lot of people, as said, shop, you know, stuff in Sweden and bring it to Norway, but not the other way around. So this is a bit strange. I don't know why they've done this, but it is unfortunate that we are getting delayed because I think we've lost about 20 minutes now. 20 minutes I don't want to lose. Thankfully, that was only a border customs check, and they weren't even standing there checking. Unnecessary if you ask me, but well, it is what it is. So we're finally into Sweden. We've now, you know, our average speed has totally dropped, but what's interesting is that our consumption is quite high, 1.2 liters per 100 kilometers. I'm going to put the conversion to MPG on the screen right there, which isn't very good. We've covered about 60 kilometers, which is about 40 miles, and the time that passed is 53 minutes, and we have left, the remaining distance is 480 kilometers, but we only have 350 kilometers left of gas in the tank, according to the trip computer, which means we're about, what's that, where are my numbers? We're about 140 kilometers shy, and even with about 20 kilometers I have with battery, we're not gonna make it, but we'll see once we're past the traffic, because from Norway to Sweden there has been a lot of traffic, meaning a lot of braking and then accelerating up to speed, and that uses a lot of traffic. So once we have, you know, a more consistent speed, we might see the consumption drop a bit, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. So guys, welcome to Gothenburg, Sweden, the home of Volvo. So I hit some traffic earlier, and then I really had to go to the toilet, so I had to find this mall. Got me something to drink, and I was just rushing so much that I didn't film. And now on our way out of the mall, I took a wrong exit, so we're not driving through downtown after all, and we just don't have time. We'll probably do it on the way up, and you know, since these are new roads, I'm a little confused with the GPS. The GPS seems a bit confused also, though the car is from here, but it was after I came out of the parking garage. The GPS really didn't have all its bearings very precisely, so it was off by like maybe 10 or 20 meters, 10 or 20 yards. But now we have the bearings, and now we're on our way to E6, European Highway number 6. E6. I think that will bring us till Malmö at least, and then, well, we'll just follow the GPS. And so we've lost some time here due to traffic and the detour, so we won't drive through Malmö. We'll probably, or maybe, do that on the way back. So we're about 3 hours from our destination, and let's hope we have sun and daylight until we get there. So might look like I spoke too soon. So we hit traffic on the way into Gothenburg, and now we're hitting traffic on the way out. So hopefully we won't arrive too late, but I'm not gonna do many more stops. Maybe a food stop I haven't eaten in a whole bunch of hours. But an update, we have 307 kilometers left to go until we're at the hotel outside of Copenhagen, but we only have 220 kilometers of range left. We have half a tank of fuel, and we've done 238.7, so that seems about right. The trip computer tends to go to 0 kilometers left when we have about, I don't know, 40 or 50 kilometers left, just as a safety margin. And we have 22 kilometers left on the battery. So I don't think we'll even get to Denmark without refueling. I think we're lucky if we'll get to Malmö without refueling. But we're lucky because when in the hybrid like this, slow moving traffic, though we're holding the charge, there still is some charge in the battery that we're not holding. So we're just moving forward on battery propulsion now, saving us fuel. Finally, guys, we've now pushed through traffic, but I want to share something with you guys, because we now drove through Gothenburg, the second largest city in Sweden, about the same size as Oslo in, number of inhabitants, and also, Volvo headquarters, Volvo HQ, is just right outside of Stockholm. No, right outside of Gothenburg. And we did see a lot of Volvos, a lot of S90s, V90s, but surprisingly few XC90s. And I don't even think I saw a single XC60. And I may have only spotted 1 or 2 XC90s, which is very strange, because in Oslo and in Norway and where I live in a smaller city with less than 100,000 people. Okay, XC90, there we saw one. But they are far and few in between. But where I live, there are a bunch of XC90s. And in Oslo or in Bergen or in Trondheim, the biggest cities of Norway, you'll see a bunch of XC90s and a bunch of, luxury SUVs. So it's just interesting to see the difference in buying preference just between Norway and Sweden, and especially Oslo and Gothenburg, which are only basically, 3 hours apart. So if you're from Sweden, let me know in the comments down below. Is my observation correct, or do you buy as many SUVs as we do, or do you just prefer, station wagons and saloons? What the heck is that, guys? That looks like a Volvo 740 pickup that some kids just threw together. What the hell? Welcome to Sweden, guys. Update, guys. So we're about an hour outside of Gothenburg, 1.5 hours. I'm not quite sure. I think it's an hour. We've hit these really nice stretches of long stretches of motorway with very little traffic, and made able to pick up some really nice speed here on the Swedish motorway. But that means that fuel consumption still is at 11.7 liters per 100 kilometers, and we have now less of a quarter tank left and 60 kilometers left of fuel. That's not a lot. 40 miles. We have 204 kilometers till our destination. 120 miles, so we're gonna go empty in not very long. I had to take another pause there, but I wanna just drive a little more, see how far we can get. Maybe, I'm not sure if we'll take the chance to, you know, run the engine empty of gas, just, you know, so we're only on electricity, because I don't know this road. I've never driven here before, and it seems like the distances between the filling stations are quite long, so I'm not sure if I want to take that chance. But when we dip below the, you know, dip below into the red in the fuel gauge, the car will, you know, give us a prompt and ask us, do you want to fill, and show us where the closest filling station is. So we'll see what that balance is, so I'll keep you guys updated. So guys, now we're out of range. 2 lines on the trip computer. I can't even speak. 2 lines on the trip 2 lines on the trip computer. No more range. 393.9 kilometers. I'm gonna take down the camera so you guys can see this. I'm gonna take down the camera here. So this is what it looks like. So 393.9 kilometers. I'm gonna put the conversion up on the screen there, and no more range. Let's open up the trip computer here too. Can we open up the trip computer? Why can't we open the, oh, because, yeah, okay, now we'll open up. No, we're at a gas station. Okay, there we go. Zoom in again. So open up the trip computer. 393.9 kilometers, 12 liters per 100 kilometers. Isn't the best fuel economy, but we have, you know, an average speed of 102 kilometers an hour, and that includes also sitting in traffic over the Swedish-Norwegian border, sitting in traffic in Gothenburg, and driving also through slow-moving traffic and parking garages in Gothenburg. So that isn't the worst, actually, of fuel of average speed, and we've been on the road for about 4 hours. So I'm a bit disappointed that, you know, we ran out of fuel this early, and that is the distance we have left. That is 152 kilometers until we're at our destination, Quality Airport, Dan. So that's the update, guys. Oh, fuel stop and food stop. Just a simple French hot dog. I don't even know if we have these in Norway. It's funny to travel to Sweden, because you might think, being Norwegian or even Swedish, or I don't know, from somewhere else in the world, that we have very similar cultures. We do, but we still have a lot of small differences that I find very peculiar. I can't even talk. Differences I find strange or interesting. Like me ordering just a hot dog and she's asking, you want it in French hot dog bread? I'm like, okay, sure, what's that? This is what that is. It's actually quite good. I am not complaining. So there we are, guys, finally arrived at our hotel here outside of Copenhagen, and the trip took a few extra hours, well, maybe an extra hour, and I had around an hour pit stop in Gothenburg. So as you watched the video, we didn't manage to get the whole way on a single tank of fuel, and well, I wasn't expecting that, and that is one of the downsides of this car. Is if you do long stretches of road, you have to stop underways and fill up. It's not the biggest problem, but me who are I'm used to diesels with bigger fuel tanks than this. I'm used to traveling twice as far, almost maybe 3 times as far in an XC90 than I'm able to do with this. So they should have given this car at least a 70-liter fuel tank, an 80-liter or even a bigger, considering the consumption. And again, I was doing highway miles. This was almost a highway run and a city run, and highway run at high speeds. So we were in excess of the speed limit, and I just wanted to get there as quickly as possible. Nothing illegal, but we had a very high average speed. The average speed here is, if we go to the trip computer here, 105 kilometers an hour. So that means the average consumption 12.4 liters per 100 kilometers. So guys, that was, I'm knackered. As you can see, I can barely talk. I'm so tired. I've been awake since 5 o'clock this morning. It's now 8 o'clock in the evening. So I'm just gonna check in and crash and wake up tomorrow early for a meeting. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.